You know the take is bad when the comments are actually discussing the review. Jesus Christ. Yet 99% of Fantano's comment sections are just like, Melon, I respect your opinion, but as soon as you started calling Tyler the hard R over and over again, I think you took it a bit too far, honestly. So real quick, I don't really like making sub-goal requests on sensitive topics like these, so I'm not going to do a sub-goal for this video. However, make sure you subscribe, because it goes a long way. Genuinely appreciate it. Anyways, how's it going, guys? Peep is... Real quick before we start today's video, follow me on Instagram because I said so. I want to show y'all that I have a life outside of complaining about stupid shit on YouTube. So yeah, follow me on Instagram. I got y'all. I'm gonna post some heat. Anyways, but today we're gonna talk about someone I've never actually talked about on this channel before. This funny melon man. Now, me saying that this gentleman has made a controversial statement is the equivalent to me informing to you guys that the sky is blue, right? This dude is such a love him or hate him kind of YouTuber. Like, this dude has a cult following, but excluding that, a lot of people generally hate this guy's opinions. For those that don't know, Anthony Fantano is one of the biggest music journalists in the content creation scene. So big to the point where he can influence what is like the biggest album at the moment. Like, if I'm being honest with you, now I don't take my word for it, right? This is just a educated guess, but I feel like he's the reason why Brat blew up in popularity so much. It is so rare for this guy to give anything a perfect 10 out of 10 score. I want to say it only happened like a dozen times in his over a decade long career. So because Brat got a 10 out of 10, I have a feeling that that's the reason why it blew up in popularity so much. But that being said, this dude has a tendency to hate everything that's good and love everything that's bad. I love A Great Chaos, bro. Literally the hardest album ever. What do you mean Fantano gave it a 3? What? This album is literally just noise and ear rape. How can anyone enjoy this, bro? This is an actual headache to listen to.
Freaking loving this record. Freaking loving this record. Can't really say much else about it. Kind of feeling a strong 9 to a 10.
Oh, I see. That was a joke, by the way. I actually really like Death Grips. No hate towards any Death Grips connoisseurs watching my video. This album's really good. But a 10 out of 10, I think that's a bit of an overstatement for this album. I'm gonna be fully honest with you. Just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. Okay, let's stop milking this to 8 minutes, even though I'm gonna end up doing it anyways. Today, we're gonna talk about Halsey. You see, Halsey is a pop artist who I feel like everyone knows at this point. You've definitely heard at least one of her songs at this point. I was never the biggest fan of her. I'm not gonna act like I enjoyed any of her music. I'm not gonna act like I've loved her for like the longest time. Truth is, like, I've only heard a couple of her songs. She's alright. The reason we're bringing up Halsey is because of her most recent album, The Great Impersonator. So you see, The Great Impersonator is an extremely vulnerable and personal album that she made. The past couple years for Halsey has been absolutely terrible for her. If I'm correct, she just recovered from having cancer. She got dropped from her record label after a huge dispute. Her dog of many years dying, which, let's be honest here, if my dog died, bro, like, I'm spiraling into depression, bro. I'm never recovering from that. I think your dog just has like a huge part in your emotional stability, honestly. This album is also about her husband leaving her husband of many years. It's one of those things where all of these just accumulate and build up, spiraling her into like a huge depression. And she basically used this album as like a vent, if you will. She used this album as a way to express all the struggles she's been going through the past couple years, how her life is falling apart, and in general, you know, to sum it up, very personal and dark album. So how do you think this funny melon man responds?
Hi everyone, Ringthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Halsey record, The Great Impersonator.
Wow, you're just gonna start it off with a groan? Oh my god. Okay, let's just get this over with. In general, to sum up this entire video, it's just him complaining about how Halsey thinks she's the main character and how this is just a very whiny, very angsty teen album. And the cherry on top of this.
Yeah, this album was a really tough listen and frankly in some pockets laughable, which is why I'm feeling a light to decent 1 on it. Transition, have you...
You heard that, Halsey? Your miserable life? It's laughable, honestly. 1 out of 10. Terrible album. And as you can see, There's a lot of disagreement here. Fellas, is it main character syndrome to be diagnosed with cancer? Main character syndrome, and it's a woman going through probably the toughest period of her life. You know the take is bad when the comments are actually discussing the review. Jesus Christ. Yet 99% of Fantano's comment sections are just like, Melon, I respect your opinion, but as soon as you started calling Tyler the hard R over and over again, I think you took it a bit too far, honestly. I don't know if he can. How am I sexist if I gave Brett a 10 himself out of this one? Now, the thing is, Fantano's known for being extremely stubborn. He's one of those, you know, it's just my opinion, right? Kind of people where he will just stand with his opinion no matter what. From what I could tell, he hasn't really made a public announcement yet. He hasn't made like an apology yet. So, oh, 1 hour ago. Anyone dress up as a niche music meme for Halloween? Post them. I wonder if people are talking about Halsey here. Maybe I should dress up as a bald, misogynistic weirdo who does music reviews on YouTube and accuse a cancer patient of having main character syndrome, who made an album about her experience thinking she was going to die. Dude, come on. Alright, this was literally 13 minutes ago. I'm assuming he hasn't changed his mind yet. You're effing nuts. I hope you know that. Thank you. Seriously, you're not gonna show like any sort of respect? Like, oh my god. You and Pitchfork lost all my respect in one day, and I think that's crazy. You did no research to the respective of this album. The fact that she had cancer, lost her dog, her husband left her, is not main character syndrome. It is a genuine struggle. Yeah, I'm not gonna let Fantano have all the hate today. We gotta go to Pitchfork real quick, because they basically had the exact same response as Fantano. I don't know if the guys over at Pitchfork study Fantano's videos before dropping a review too. Oh, make sure it's okay to like the album, or make sure it's okay to hate the album. But a little later, after Anthony Fantano's review, Pitchfork dropped their review on The Great Impersonator. 4.8 out of 10. Jesus Christ. Look, I'm not expecting empathy points, like, oh my god, I feel bad. I'm gonna give this a super high rating just because I feel bad. But you gotta give credit and respect where it's due. A 1 out of 10 and a 4 out of 10? On probably one of the most personal and vulnerable albums of like the year. Like, Jesus Christ. Show some respect. That's wild. Yeah. I mean, that's all I really gotta say about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go now. Boom.